Jason and Jabari. Jason and Jabari.
Alrighty, what is up, guys? This is Jason from the Jason and Jabari Gaming, and today I have completed, well, yesterday actually, I completed 9.3. Today is Thursday. 9.3 dropped Wednesday. I think I got it done within 5 hours or so, something like that. I was on call with Truth Comics, really solid dude, and Egg, and we all three did it together, and we had a fun time. It was a whole vibe. It was chill. It wasn't stressful. We were helping each other out. So example of that, I would take a certain path while Truth would take another and Egg would take another, and we'd all kind of converse on what worked best. And I'm gonna do the real quick recap, and then I'm going to do the voiceover for the rewards opening. So that's how this is going to go. I'm going to start off in chapter 1. The way I like to do things is I like to complete a chapter prior to moving to the next chapter. I've been that way for years. If you guys will watch me do this type of content live and stuff, that's just how I am. I'm not saying that's the best way to do it, but it does make it convenient for when you get your rewards. You can get them all pretty much around the same time, so that way you're not itching to open them and stuff like that. But anyway, all right, for the, what is this, the science path, I believe. Oh no, that's the boss, my bad. All right, for this science path, I honestly didn't pay attention to these scourge charges. You could use whoever you wanted, pretty much. I just used a lot of different science champions, such as Torch, Anti-Venom was good. You could use Count Nefaria, Photon. You can use Titania. I mean, it really doesn't matter. Spider-Woman, very common. So there you go. For the tech path, I used Sentinel. Sentinel will get you through it. Penny Parker, anybody with heal block, really. That's pretty much who you wanted. Warlock, things of that nature. This mutant one was the first one I started on. Wags, White Magneto, was really good for this path. Nightcrawler was really good for this path because you want somebody who gives you prowess to remove their unblockable, and those were the two that I used that were MVPs for me personally. All right, on to the bosses. I use Nico to cheese this boss. All you do is throw on the buff immunity, spam SP1s, he's dead. I used Negasonic, Teenage Warhead here. Soloed that fight, very simple. For Loki, I would say Spider-Woman is probably the best, but I think I used Anti-Venom here. So that was that chapter. Not too bad. I used a revive here and there, simply because I was trying to learn things and stuff like that, but I didn't use too many by any stretch of the imagination. So we're gonna move over to section, or chapter 2, excuse me. For this path, I use Okoye. Quite literally, I think I Okoye'd everything. Yeah, I just used Okoye for the whole path. It was fun times. For this mystic path, I can't remember who I used. I think I ended up using Destroyer, because I had a very fun time using Destroyer. Yeah, I was using Destroyer, Juggernaut, Kushala, Man Thing, and then you guys could just fill in the blank from there. For the Cosmic Path, I used Dark Phoenix, I used Deathless Thanos, I used Dark Phoenix, Deathless Thanos. I think I had what's his name on the team? I can't think of his name. serpent, and that was pretty much it. I didn't mess with too many others because they just absolutely rinsed that path for me. Oh, Vox. Vox was for arcade and for Medusa. So Vox as well. Vox was important there. Sorry. All right, moving on to the bosses. For Iron Man, I think I used Deathless Thanos there and soloed. For Cap America Infinity War, I used Yelena, and I almost soloed, but I made a mistake, and then I finished them off. And then for Cyclops, I think I used Deathless Thanos as well. I'm fairly certain that was who I used there, if I'm not mistaken. All right, so moving on to chapter 3. All right, here we go. Okay, for the Cosmic Path, I used Gallon. For this Viv, she was dead in like 25 seconds. And then from there, I think I used Dark Phoenix and Deathless Thanos. The important thing about this, don't worry, well, I didn't pay attention to any of the Scourge charges, so the important thing is you bait out a heavy and punish them, punish their heavies, so you get a countdown timer to knock them down. That's the important part about that path. Here I used Okoye for the whole path. She made easy work of the whole thing. Here, Sentinel was MVP. All you need is Sentinel here. You could use Warlock or some other tech champions, but again, Sentinel absolutely soloed this whole path. The only reason why I didn't solo everybody with Sentinel was because I used Warlock on Iceman, forgetting that Sentinel is Cold Snap immune, but everybody else was Sentinel. All right, Sentinel for Sinister, very easy. Human Torch, Flame On for Purgatory. Do not parry because it has one eye open. You'll melt yourself. And I heard Venom is pretty good for Doc Ock. I didn't use Venom, but I heard he's pretty good. I think I used I don't even know. I think I used Hyperion or something. I don't know. But Venom is probably the play there, honestly. All right, moving on to chapter 4. All right, here we go. Okay, for the first path, this was the science path. I used Human Torch, and she was dead in like 30 seconds because the way it works is when they throw their specials, they take burst damage. The hubris node basically is what nukes them. And then I was using, you could use, I used Eye Bomb, I used Torch, I used Spider Woman, and those were really the main ones. Just make sure you don't knock them in the corner, in their corner, otherwise they go debuff immune and then you won't have a fun time. Now, it only lasts for a couple of seconds, but still, you kind of want to fight on your side of the map or in the middle if you're going to use debuffers, which I would recommend. Let's see, the Mystic Path. The Mystic Path, I just used Long Shot. I used Man Thing. I used Destroyer, Kushala. And that was about it. And again, like, I wanted to have fun, so I was using like Destroyer and Man Thing on attack because they are fun champions to me. I really enjoy them, and this is a really chill act. I don't think it's so complex where you need specific counters to everything. I thought it was a little bit freer, which I did appreciate, because you could just, you know, go in with whomever you wanted to just to have some fun. All right, I used Okoye to solo this path for the skill path. She solos everything. I would use somebody else in hindsight for Corvus, because shock and bleeds do nothing for him, so that fight took a little bit longer than the rest of them, but it was fine. I used Okoye to solo Mr. Negative. I used Sentinel to solo Namor, and I used Kushala to solo Red Goblin. Now there you just want to spam SP2s and he'll go down pretty quick. All right, let's move on to chapter 5. We are flying through this. All right. All right, for the mutant path, let's see. I used Negasonic. She destroyed this Daredevil's Hell's Kitchen. I also used just your usual mutants. Honestly, there was no, like, you didn't need a specific counter here, really. So I used, I think I had most of my rank 4s, yeah. So, Negasonic, I think I used Onslaught. He's not rank 4, by the way. I think I had Sinister in there. I think I had Jean Grey in there. And that was pretty much all she wrote for that path for me personally. For the Cosmic Path, this one was not as fun because they put a lot of champions on here that has a lot of buffs, and this is basically rich get richer. So I used like Gallon. You definitely want Venom if you have Venom, Gallon, Odin. Anybody who gains a lot of buffs, or you can give yourself a lot of buffs, you're going to have the edge of gaining all the power instead of them. So definitely buff heavy champions here. And it's unique buffs. It's not number of buffs, by the way, for rich get richer. And then again, I use Man Thing for this for this Captain Marvel, which she's poison immune, so don't do that. But I still soloed. But that's what I mean by having fun. I was just taking in champions I wanted to use, so it was the same usual suspects. You can do this for mainly all these chapters. So Man Thing, Destroyer, Kushala, Juggernaut, you know, those sort of things. So the fight should be fine. Here I believe I used Nico and cheesed it. Here I used Lumatrix and did only heavies and medium attacks and soloed. And then here I used Sentinel and soloed. Sentinel is probably arguably one of the best counters for her, at least as of knowing first day, but there could be other great counters. All right, last chapter. I'm gonna sound like a broken record, but actually for this path, for the science path, I used Count Nefaria with the Iron Man synergy. I didn't really use that. I mainly used Anti-Venom. Anti-Venom was the MVP for this path. Just keep up your debilitates, and that's GG's. Here I use Kang because why not? With the APOC synergy, it was a fun time. And here I just used like APOC, made Jean a horseman, and then ran through the path. And then there's Doom. Doom I found to be very fun once I learned how to fight him. I didn't think he was stressful at all. I didn't even find him that challenging, to be honest. Once you get the hang of it, he's not bad at all in my opinion. You will need a few revives because if he slaps you for any reason, you are dead. And then in the later phases, it ramps up to if you eat a SP1, if you eat a SP2, if you don't do this right, or you just get tagged in general, you're going to die. So it sounds stressful, but it actually isn't once you get the rhythm. And I think it's a very fun and interesting and unique fight. Overall, I thought this was W content. I thoroughly enjoyed myself. And that might have been amplified because I was doing it with friends. I don't know. If that is something you're interested in doing, I would definitely advocate for you guys to get with a couple friends who have the same goal and then do a couple different paths and help each other out if it's fun for you to do things like that. It was definitely a blast for me to do that with Truth. and Egg, and we all just had a genuine vibe going, and it was just stress-free, just chatting and interacting with Truth's chat. So definitely go check out Truth's Comics live stream. He streamed the whole thing from beginning to end if you haven't already. And now I'm going to do the voiceover about my rewards. But again, I thought this was a huge W, and I will catch you guys in a couple of seconds. Okay guys, we are back, and here is my, I believe, final attempt at fighting this Doom, Emperor Doom. We all used Black Cat. I think she was one of the MVPs for taking him down, simply because she has a double medium attack, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. So I think this was the final attempt. I think that's why I started recording, because I was like, I think I can get him down here. Again, this fight was not bad. You just needed to know how to do the fight, and once you did it a few times, you pretty much had it. So dash in, dash out, dash in, dash out, and then use the relic to get your opening to knock him down, and he's dead. So yeah, that was the final attempt. I don't like how she kind of kicks all the way through his body. That's not good graphics. But ultimately it was a fun fight. I did appreciate it, and I did have fun. So we have finished 100%. So we're going to move to the next tile, because why not waste more energy? Because energy is no longer a thing, right? All right. Now this, I just grab random ISO. I don't care what ISO I get, and then all the rewards start popping up in the background, and I just hurry up and grab more ISO. I have so much ISO that it doesn't really matter right now. This will allow me to do a rank 4, so that video will be coming out probably tomorrow for you guys. And then I have another video to do, and then I have a mastery video to do, because I did promise somebody who will be featured in the video with them doing the request about mastery setup and things of that nature. So we have some videos upcoming, guys. We have some videos upcoming. All right, so we have a healthy amount of 7-star shards. We will be able to open another Titan. I am also going to pick up the 15k unit offer. That is a separate video, and you guys will see how that goes, so stay tuned for that. So yeah, man, we got videos coming down the pipeline for you guys, man. We try to do what we can to keep you guys entertained while maintaining real lives and real jobs. It's a juggling act for sure. All right, so now that we've grabbed tier 6 catalyst, I just grabbed random ones here. I didn't actually know what class I wanted, so I think I ultimately decided on going for skill. And the reason why I decided for going for skill is because Bullseye is very low sig. I do plan on taking Bullseye to rank 4 at some point. He's very, very good. He's meta, right? So he is in my Battlegrounds deck, so it makes sense to me. So I was aiming to get some dupes, if not one dupe on Bullseye, and I wouldn't mind obtaining a Mole Man, and it fell on Hawkeye, which is depressing. I am not a Hawkeye fan by any stretch of the imagination, but oh well. And then I think the second one, it didn't serve any purpose. Yeah, Korg is Sig 200. Sadly, that doesn't do too much but give me Titan shards, double Titan shards, which I'm not a fan of this Titan release, because it doesn't help me. It's probably one of the best Titans we've had, but for me personally, it's pretty bad, because most of the champions I already have, a lot of them are at Sig 200, so it's not benefiting me which I'm not saying it's a bad Titan pull because it's very good. It's just for me personally, it's not very good because I don't have much to strive after. Okay, now that we've formed a couple of tier 6, let's get on to opening. I'm trying to do 2 Titans for you guys. So I would love to dupe a 7-star here. A new 7-star is fine, but I love to dupe a 7-star because I do want to use that 1 to 2 gem on them. But this is not a dupe, it's brand new. That is going to go on my Human Torch. Hopefully help with his block proficiency a little bit more than the World War II one that I have. So that's not bad. And then we have the 6-star one. I don't really mind who I get here. It looks like it is another new relic. These newer relics for the StatCast they're alright. So they're gonna help out my champions. So that's not bad. I think we move over to opening up the 7 stars, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what we do. Yeah. All right. Useful dupes. That's it. Very, very simple. Useful dupes. We have 3 of these bad boys to open up. I can't remember if I do get a useful dupe or not. Strife is not it. I'm not personally a huge fan of Strife. Like, I like the champion enough to play him when necessary, but like I wouldn't consider myself to be a fan by any stretch of the imagination. All right. The next one is Patriot. I think that helps him. I do use Patriot in War. In fact, I'm using Patriot in War today. So I'm not going to say that that's bad. He is rank 3 and it does benefit us when I do get solos with him. So, wasn't what I was looking for though. A Mega Sentinel dupe. I think I already had her duped, if I'm not mistaken. No, that's the first time awakening, it looks like. Let's make sure. Let's see. Yeah, it's first time awakening, so that's actually not that bad. I'll take that. And I'm looking, and I think we end up going to spend a few units in order to make it 40,000 Titan shards, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's what we end up doing. So I will head over to the unit offers that they have, and I'll pick up one more. I had picked up 2 last time to make 19 Titan for you guys. If you guys haven't seen that, that video is out, and you can see how abysmal it went. So that will be helpful. And sharing around with your friends and leaving likes also is very helpful. You guys have been awesome about that. That is what's been pushing us through the algorithm because of you guys, and I appreciate it. Continue doing what you're doing. Share around with friends. Make sure you're subscribed. All the things, and we appreciate it. All right. 2 Titans for you guys instead of 1. I don't know why they didn't just do 2 in the first place, but that's neither here nor there. All right. Obviously, I'm looking for Cassandra Nova, or I'm looking for Carolina Dean. That's it. That's all I want. I don't want anything else. And mainly I have everything else, to be honest, but we'll see. So this ends up landing on on the maker. That is rank 4 Sig 200. That's what I'm talking about. That was a waste. That was a waste. He's already max Sig. To the left or to the right, I would have been so happy. But nope. No Carolina for me. Alright. So I just pop this one and I get Jean Grey, which takes her up to Sig 120. So yeah. Just not worth it for me personally. It sucks, but that's kind of the downfall of pretty much having everything too. So here I'm just showing the new relics that I got, and that's, I believe, what I wanted to show you guys. The Captain America World War II, or excuse me, Captain America Infinity War and the Destroyer relic. They're both new. I think they're right next to each other right there. So yeah, that's gonna go, like I said, on Human Torch. Hopefully help out with the block proficiency, so he stops taking so much, as opposed to the World War II relic. But let me know what you guys think about this. Let me know if you've done 9.3. Let me know if this is helpful to you, and continue to like and subscribe and help us grow. Like I said, we're almost at 3K, and it's all thanks to you. Peace.